One of the video tapes my friend had was Akira.
Nani? Cringe.
First time I saw it, immediately, still to this day, my favorite anime ever. Akira.
Is Akira.
Yeah, Akira.
Yeah.
I have a few others, but you know, if I have to choose one, always gonna be Akira.
It's a classic, dude. It's groundbreaking.
Man. Yeah. And the story itself, you know, I think we can talk about, I guess, like the deeper perspectives of Akira later on.
Right.
To just keep the雰囲気 light. But
right.
First time I saw it, it was like, this is it. And of course, like the red jacket, the motorcycle, cyberpunk, dystopian settings, everything. I was still to this day I watch it, I'm like, wow, かっこいい. Always gonna be my favorite. What about you? When was the first time you saw Akira?
I had a question for you. How old were you the first time you saw Akira?
To be what? 12, 13, 14, around that age.
All right.
I didn't understand it at first.
Right. It's been a while for me. And I haven't read the manga, like the full manga. I've read obviously like chapters and stuff. I've seen the anime many times. It's been a long time. I need to dip back into that and check it out. The first time I saw Akira was probably on TV. I was in grade school.
It was on TV?
And it was a clip. It was a clip on a TV show. It was a TV show called Caloi en su tinta, which Caloi was a cartoonist, an Argentine cartoonist that drew like super popular comic strips. He drew Clemente. They were, they dealt with like, it was humor, right? So it was kind of like along the same vein of like, Garfield and like those, those types of like comics. But anyway, this guy Caloi was the creator of all these things I just mentioned. And at some point in Argentina, he had a TV show on one of the regular like non-cable channels. I don't know if it was like ATC or like Canal 9 or one of those. But it was called Caloi en su tinta, Caloi in his ink. En su tinta means like in his element, like in his thing, like his specialty kind of thing, right? And so he talked about artists and comics and animation and that type of stuff, right? And I just caught like a glimpse of Akira because he was talking about like Japan and like the type of stuff they're doing. This is back, Akira was like 85 or something. I'm not sure. The anime.
Around that time.
We'll check that. So it was around that time too. And so I just saw a clip. It was just like the motorcycle scene. And, obviously I was in grade school. I saw that. It didn't compare to, I was watching, what else was I watching? Like a Strawberry Shortcake, Care Bears, and like those type of 80s cartoons were on TV, right? So like that compared to Akira is obviously like a huge leap.
Yeah.
But then, again, no internet, no nothing. They didn't import anything from Japan in Argentina that I remember. Nothing I had any access to, so I forgot about it. But then so that was technically the first time I saw Akira, and it was just kind of like a clip, and I noticed it, but I didn't see much more of it. But I guess the second, but felt like the first time I actually saw the whole thing, was inside a nightclub in Buenos Aires called El Odeon or Bar El Odeon, or I've been looking for it, can't find any photos. This was pre-social media. It's probably not there anymore. But again, if anybody who hears this knows about it or has any photos or a story or whatever, please share it with us. But Bar Odeon was like near downtown Buenos Aires, close to like the planetarium. And it was a club / bar, had a dance floor and everything, that was underneath train tracks that go, I think, like east-west, or I think that's the direction. I might be getting this mixed up. This was like decades ago. But the club was under the train track, so when the trains went by, like the bar, like everything would shake. Yeah.
Sounds like
and I remember that.
Sounds like a scene of Blade.
Yeah.
The next thing everybody.
Right. I remember, I went there. A friend of mine, Pato, told me yeah, you know, they show these Japanese cartoons at Loiseau, and it's awesome. They're crazy. He's like, you know, he's like, dude, there's like nudity and like sex and all sorts of violence. It's crazy. And I was like, there's nowhere to see that back then. So I'm like, yo, we got to go. And he's like, all right, yeah. Like, we'll go next time. Like, let's go. And we took, you had to take like a train and then a bus. Like, it was a whole ordeal to get there. But like, for me, it was worth it. I kept asking. Eventually, like, okay, we'll go this Friday. Like, yeah, let's go. So we went. And then there was this DJ. And, you know, they projected images. Like, so you had the dance floor, everybody dancing. The projector would project like on the people and the wall behind them. And they'd project, you know, whatever, music videos, all, you know, all sorts of stuff. Mainly music videos. But Pato had told me, yo, sometimes they screen these Japanese cartoons, like you got to check them out. So I went to the DJ and I'd ask, I'm like, yo, are you gonna project Japanese cartoons? I heard you guys got Japanese cartoons. And the dude's like, I was like, oh, okay, maybe later on. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'd wait. I was there just to see that, dude. I didn't care about the club, the bar, nothing. Like, I was just wanted to see these cartoons.
Everybody dancing, drinking.
Everybody dancing, drinking.
When is that
I'm
cartoon
just waiting.
coming?
I'm like, I'm all, so like, I go back, I'm like, yeah, DJ, you know, I'm not asking for any song, nothing. I'm just like, you got the Japanese cartoons? And he's just like, bueno, sí, espera, más tarde. Like, later, we'll do it later. And eventually, you know, he got tired of me. He's like, okay. He's like, all right, now. He's like, I'll put it on now. And I guess he was projecting VHS on the wall. And the first thing he put up was Urotsuki Doji.
Oh,
Legend of the Overfiend.
Another classic.
Another classic.
Jinsei no Kyokasho.
Donna jinsei? Like,
that's my life, son. But anyways.
Straight demons. So, you know, I saw that and I'd never even heard of it, and like it blew my mind. And then eventually it went off, and I was like, no, dude, like they're cutting off the Japanese cartoons. And then Akira went on. Oh, and then I recognized the motorcycle scene from like that thing I'd seen in Kaloy en su tinta like as a kid, and I'm like, oh, yeah, dude, that was one of those moments, right?
Oh.
And then, you know, I remember just like standing there, because like I had to get on this dance floor to be able to see better, like what was being projected. But of course, it's a dance floor. There's people dancing.
Did you have to go dance just to see it better?
Just kind of, yeah. You know,
Hello.
trying to push people away. But that's how I watched Akira for the first time, was on a dance floor at a nightclub in Buenos Aires.
That's a good first time though. It kind of fits though, like the mood. And like the mood of the anime and the club with the like the train
with the train going by. Yeah. No, that place was awesome. Like I hope I can find some photos somewhere at some point.